Hi everybody, Marty Rubin, and I'm back for another segment of Marty's Corner. And let's see who we have today. We have Long Island's own Jojo Minasi.
Hi everyone.
Who is playing the fun-loving, high-spirited, freewheeling,
Lyle, the
fun person, Lyle.
Lyle, and in the male ensemble, and it is an absolute blast.
In the hit musical?
Footloose.
All right, all right. I'm looking at your shoes right now, all right? And I think I see smoke coming out of those shoes.
Oh.
Because you are burning it up out here on the stage. I mean,
thank you.
You really are. The audiences have been like really into it, and you know, are you having as good a time as it looks like you're having?
It is the best. Every single performance is like a giant party with this cast. First of all, the cast is amazing. They are super fun and easygoing and just like loving people. And between the direction and the choreography and all the music and everything, it is just the most joyous experience.
And it's coming through, I'll tell you that right now. So when I look on stage, I see a lot of the performances, and I look up and I say to myself, it's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's Jojo, leaping from ledges up here and doing, you know, the moonwalk and doing full spins. And first of all, is there a secret to doing the moonwalk? I mean, if you want to tell anybody,
sure. Yeah, I mean, I learned at a very young age. I always thought that was such a cool move, and I always like wanted to be able to do that. Basically, you just like you put your foot down, and then you slide it, and then you go like this with the other one, and then you switch.
Right. So you gotta show it. You gotta move those legs.
Yeah.
Well, it works. It works. And then you do the spins and. I mean, where did you learn to do all the spins? Obviously, it's choreography involved, but like, how much did you have to really learn on this?
So I mean, the amazing thing, our choreographer Gene, he was so like innovative in the way that he did this choreography, and a lot of times there would be a moment where he was like, "All right, now it's time to feature someone," and he'd be like. After all the choreography that he taught us, obviously he taught us a ton and it was great, but then he'd be like, okay, now take like an 8 count and feature yourselves.
Right.
So in Holding Out for a Hero, there's a part where like all 3 of the boys do like their own little special unique thing, and then I get a nice one in Let's Hear It for the Boy.
Yes, yes. No, you're so good out there. It's a lot of fun. So I understand that. I know you've been on Long Island Theater since you were a kid. You know, what time did you? How old were you when you first started acting?
I started when I was about like in 5th grade, I think. Yeah.
So I understand that you were in a play, in a show with a young Dylan Perlman, one of the owners of the Argyle Theater, when you were both 16 years old.
Yeah.
Parade.
Yes.
And actually, Mark Perlman, Dylan Perlman's dad, the other owner of the theater, showed me a video of the two of you in the show. You guys were very good.
Thank you.
You were good. What was that like being in a show with Dylan?
Well, many of you may not know, Dylan Perlman is one of my best friends in this entire world. He is such an amazing person, and it's kind of a really cool experience that I get to do a show at theater that him and his dad opened, and I couldn't be happier and prouder to be on the stage.
Right.
But he is such a professional in many aspects, especially even in a show like Parade, where we were playing parts that were older than ourselves and stuff, and he took it so seriously, and even though his character was like the bad guy, he really embodied that character, but then off stage was like the nicest guy in the world.
It's so cool. So if during the run of Parade, back when you were 16 years old, Dylan would have turned to you and said, you know, Jojo, someday I'm going to own a professional equity theater, and you're going to be one of the stars of Footloose. Would you have thought he was delusional, or what would you have said?
Almost from the beginning, from when I first met him, he did talk about that. It wasn't shortly after that he started kind of conceiving this whole idea, and so I knew from the beginning, and I was always a supporter, and I mean, you know, I was here in the very beginning of that,
absolutely.
and I watched this place grow into what it is now, and it's really exciting, and I'm so happy that his dream to do this like came true.
Yeah,
it's
no,
really cool.
it's nice. So now listen, I know you watch Marty's Corners.
Yes.
So you know a sports reference is coming, Jojo.
Yes.
All right. So are you ready? All right. So here we go. So when I'm watching sports, I'm drawn to the players that are intense, okay, that have a passion, that are really enjoying themselves. For instance, I'm a Met fan. Brandon Nimmo, he always has a smile on his face, he's always having a good time. Back in the day, John Starks of the Knicks, you know, played with so much heart and everything. To me, that's you. That's you out here, okay? You come and you bring the passion, you bring the excitement, you bring the fun, okay? And the audiences are loving it. How important is it for you to make that connection with the audience?
It's super important. I feel we thrive as performers off of audience reaction, especially in live theater.
Right.
And so when you're really giving your all into a performance and the audience reacts in that way with applause and cheering, it makes our performance better.
Yes.
And we will always put in 110%, but that gives us that little extra push.
Yeah.
So it's very important, and so far we've had unbelievable audiences.
Oh, they've had such a good time.
They've stood after numbers, which I've never been in a show where the people stand mid-show.
It's nice. It's really good to see. You know, and it's so much fun. How long does it take you when the show is over for the adrenaline rush that's in your body from hearing those kind of receptions from the audiences and hearing, you know, the standing ovation at the end of the show? How long does it take you to calm down, you know, from that?
It definitely takes a little while. Like I said, this cast is so unbelievably close. So, especially the boys. We have a dressing room upstairs that we're all like in, and it is like a big party. Before and after the show, we're hyping each other up.
Yes.
Just like a locker room, like, you know, you're with your buddies and you're like hyping them up and getting them ready to perform. And then so afterwards, it's pretty much the same thing. We go back up there, we're all like celebrating, we listen to some music, we, you know, talk about experiences we had during that performance,
Right.
and it's a lot of fun. And then we all go home and they go to the chain.
Now, when you go, I know at the end of the night, I see you out on the sidewalk. I usually come out and talk to everybody, and it's so nice, you know, to see you. If somebody, like you saw a young child come up and it was all excited, you know, and it really, you're pretty young, so it hasn't been that long. So do you get a kick out of like a young fan coming up and saying, "Oh, I had such a good time watching you on stage"?
Oh yeah, of course. I think especially because I remember being a young performer,
Right.
or an aspiring performer, and remembering how important it was when I would see a show and I would see someone that I really looked up to, and I got to go to the stage door and I got to interact with them.
Yes.
And, you know, tell them how great I thought they were, and to see that they actually were, you know, excited to see me and talk to me.
Yeah.
That you could always tell there was like a difference if someone kind of just like shoved them off, or if they were like actually excited. So like for me, like I would always want to make sure that someone feels as excited and motivated to continue a career in this.
Now, you being from the Long Island Theater and being, you know, well known out here, you know, what kind of advice would you give to a child like that walked up to you that may show an interest in theater and is thinking about maybe making a career of it? What kind of advice could you give them about, you know, starting out?
Yeah, I think, you know, I was very fortunate in that I grew up in a place where there's a large amount of community theater, and that I was able to hone in my different skill sets and kind of, can't say perfect because no one's perfect, but like I get to, you know, work on them throughout all the years growing up. And then I went to school for it and everything, obviously, but I really think that is the best advice. It's just keep doing it and keep trying, and don't let things stop you and like derail you, because something's gonna come when you least expect it.
Right. Well, you know what? It's been such a pleasure watching you, and we still got a number of weeks to go. We're playing straight through Sunday, August 28th. You get to see Jojo Minasi. I almost feel like saying Go-Go Minasi because he's so unbelievable on stage, dancing, having a great time, getting the audiences all riled up. So it's been so much fun watching you here, and we can't wait to all see you at the Argyle Theater. Take care.